Do you guys like how he got his name?
Yeah, no.
I actually did not like that.
I
And
didn't
I'm not like,
that.
I was like,
okay.
I didn't hate it. I was just like, it's kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, it wasn't, I don't think it was bad, but it's just something they just like, it seemed like they just wrote it in like really quickly and then just like,
Like, there it is. You got to deal with it.
But, like, I thought like going into it, I was like, they're just gonna do it like he's alone. They're gonna be like
individual
solo. Yeah. So.
Oh yeah, let's talk about how he acquires all his things.
Yeah.
So they paid more attention to the dice than his last name here.
Yeah.
As you can see, this is Han and Obi-Wan and Luke and Chewbacca's right here, always getting the hard crop. But you can see the dice right here. Boom. And then look, the dice. And the dice also appear in The Last Jedi. I think Leia's holding them, right?
Yeah, Luke gives them to Leia.
Yeah. Luke gives them to Leia.
Is there any like more? Is there more meaning to this?
So he just. So wait, who gave Leia his ex? What?
Okay, so Han has always had the dice right here. He gives them to Kira. Kira gives them back to him, but when they get to Kessel, Han always has it with him. And I guess when he dies, or at maybe when the Falcon comes back after the Force Awakens, after Han dies, Leia just takes it, or does Luke give it to Leia?
They're like imaginary. They're like that because he was like.
Oh yeah, because
he was projecting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they were like also a projection.
Quit projecting, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the dice, which is, I mean, it's cool. They're sabacc dice. So when Han's asking Lando, "Is this sabacc?" He clearly knows what it is. But also Han's a hustler, and we know that about him.
I loved how they put like Chewie and Han's relationship, like how they showed like where it came from and like why it's so strong and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I liked how they handled that a lot because you could like screwed that up big time, and people would have been.
I was just
like,
about to say the same thing.
Yeah,
I feel like they could have messed that up big time, but I feel like the way that he met Chewie and stuff like that, I thought was actually a big plus about the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So for those listening who haven't seen it, Han met Chewie after he was branded the traitor to the Imperials because he was a soldier for the Empire. And he got thrown into a cage to get fed to the Beast, and the Beast happened to be Chewie. And then Han speaks a little Kashyyykian or Wakonian. I don't know what
Wakonian.
what their language is called, but
I thought that was actually kind of funny when he was doing that. Like some people hated it, but I actually thought it was like.
He's like, yeah, I speak a little.
Yeah,
I liked it. I thought it was funny. So yeah, that's how we met Chewie, and then I think it was cool how Chewie could have left Kessel with the other Wookiees, but he wanted to help Han.
Mm-hmm. Like something they got rid of from Legends that like maybe some people were pissed about it, but like I think like in the long run it makes like more sense. So like in Legends there was like a life debt. Like Han saved Chewie. He was still involved in the Empire, but like on his way out he saved Chewie's life. So like Chewie was indebted to him, and that's why they were like with each other all that long. But I think the way they did it now, like where they're just best friends and that's why they're together, actually carries more weight. Because like in the other way, I feel like it almost made it seem like Chewie like had to be there. Like he didn't have a choice. Like he was like
felt morally obligated to be by his side.
And I think that gives spoiler alert for Force Awakens. I think that gives like that scene when Han Solo is killed by his son Kylo Ren. I think that like when he dies and Chewie's reaction, and then his like reaction later when they show him like breaking down, kind of like that makes it carry more weight because like he didn't have to be there. He was there because it was his decision.
Yeah. It's not like a dog to an owner. It's a best friend to a best friend. So it was nice.
I think they got their chemistry right too. Like when he was like, how did you know how to do that? And Chewie says something. He's like, 190 whatever. He's like, you look great.
He goes, that's too long. We're going to have to come up with a nickname or something.
Yeah.
Chewbacca.
He's like, I'm not saying that every time.
So, yeah, that's how he meets Chewie. Aw. And then how he gets the DL-44, his pistol. It's just built in front of him by Woody Harrelson. Beckett just gives it to him. And there's a
Yeah.
scope on a pistol. Doesn't matter. They all shoot one-handed anyway for some reason.
Yeah, they literally don't. Like you don't see him use it or anything. Oh, he doesn't use the scope. He doesn't
No.
need the scope. But I would like to see one day, like, I don't know, if they like did like the, let's say, the Lando show,
Mhm.
something like that. He like actually uses it for like literally no reason. But they try to make it seem so much more useful than it actually is.
It's like a
Like,
spoiler.
be serious
on a
about it. No, don't
minivan.
even like make it like comic relief. Like make it a serious thing, because I would think that'd be so damn funny. He's just like,
Really, I think somebody should point out that there's a scope on it, and he's like, "Oh, I never use that thing."
Yeah.
That would be funny.
It's a spoiler on the minivan. That's what the script
He
is.
could hit somebody on another planet.
You can like see across the galaxy. He's like, "I had this the whole time."
it just has
Like,
all this wicked use.
Yeah.
So another thing I wanted to talk about, in every Star Wars movie, they, including The Last Jedi, but they always say I have a bad feeling about this, but it's BB-8 who says it. In this one, they kind of play with it a little bit, and it's Han saying, I have a really good feeling about this.
Yeah.
So that's cool that they kind of changed it, because Han, throughout the whole film, he's like, yeah, no, it's going to work. Like,
The blind optimism.
yeah, and it like almost goes wrong every time, but somehow it like works out. So in his eyes, he's like, yeah, it always does work. But like, no, you got lucky. But it's the dice.
And that's cool too, because it shows like how he was when he was like young, how he was like naive and just
Mhm.
like that sense of invincibility when you're like 18 years old.
Exactly.
Was he 18?
No, I'm just saying.
I don't know.
Drew felt invincible at 18.
I still am invincible.
I don't know. I think Harrison Ford was like 35 when he first started Star Wars.
But like, how old are all these characters even supposed to be? Like, even when you're watching like other Star Wars films, like I don't even think unless you have like some biography and like, you know,
Luke's
a Wikipedia
supposed-
page for all the characters. But
Yeah.
like when you're watching them,
19,
you really
right?
don't know how
Luke and
old
Leia are
they
19 in the first one.
Okay,
And then Han's like 25, but he's like,
he's
or-
definitely older.
I think he was like 30 something.
Yeah.
Like the
think it was-
character.
Yeah, I think he was like 30.
well, yeah, Harrison Ford.
In Solo, he was 20 something, which is almost 10
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, that makes sense.